Hey, Very. It's a podcast. We talk about stuff. You listen, then you comment. I'm
Mhm.
Brian Noonan. That's Cody Gough. It was Cody Gough. Now he's back. Hi, Cody. How are you?
Leaning in and out of frame. It's fine. We're on week 3 of
It's
depression watch, which means I'll come in a lot lower energy, have really nothing to talk about that anyone wants to hear, and then get in a much better mood after we get started because
Let's hope.
you're you. But on
Well,
today's
I am
show,
me.
other than me existing, Brian has several interesting, if not fascinating, captivating things to talk about, including an arts and crafts marathon. Take that how you will. Another run in with plumbers, this one non-violent, we hope. A quandary, a moral quandary that I'm sure we'll hash out. And maybe you at home can help. Smash that like button. And he drove to the airport, I guess, which is show worthy. We'll find out why on this edition of Realities May Vary, a podcast.
All right. Well,
It's the best I could do.
I know. Well, first of all, I'm guessing because you said we're week 3 of Depression Watch, no gainful employment has come your way in the week.
I wouldn't say gainful, or I wouldn't say. Yeah, I would. Yeah, you're right. The answer is yes. Correct. Yeah.
Oh, we have royalty tuning up tonight.
Oh, hey.
Yes. Our good friend Catherine O'Connell, 1976 St. Patrick's Day Parade Queen. She likes to go, as I mentioned last week, by the title Old Queen. I refuse to use that title because I don't want to get canceled. I don't want there to be any misconceptions about how I speak. But welcome, Catherine. So, and I do clean up good. Oh man, I'm a handsome man when I get going.
I know.
But anyway, back to you and the fact that you're still suckling off the government teat.
They stopped giving me money. Actually,
Did they really? Why?
Yeah.
Why did they do that?
I don't know, because our government sucks. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I was very
Okay.
yellow. Now I made it so I'm
You
a
were
little
very
less
yellow. Yeah, I thought you had jaundice too on top of everything else. I was like, oh no, now he's got health problems. This
Yeah.
is not good.
I do have health problems. I have type 1 diabetes, and my insurance doesn't want to pay for any of my supplies because I got healthcare.gov coverage. Things are going great in my world, Brian. So let's just.
Wow. All right, let's. Do you want us to give you more employment tips like we did?
No, I'm good.
Nothing we gave you panned out.
No, my 5-minute check-in for my 5-minute, 30-second check-in. I will say thank you very kindly to the listeners who reached out via LinkedIn and Twitter directly to suggest a couple jobs for me and to let me know that you're supportive and that you enjoy the show. Brian, I haven't passed them on. Between opportunities, I like that, Catherine. Yes, I'm definitely between opportunities. Things will be, my life will be much better very soon. I have a couple of pretty warm, hot leads.
Nice.
But
I like
it's
a warm,
that
hot
little,
lead.
it's that interim, there's the inner confidence and faith that I am like one of the most talented people I know. And I'm really good at every job I've ever had, and I'll get a job somewhere. But then there's also,
of course you will.
There's also the LinkedIn culture of you go on LinkedIn. Everyone in America has been laid off in the last month, it seems.
Right.
Well, Microsoft has dumped like 12,000. Everybody else is just like cleaning house. So
Roger said you should go into consulting.
Yeah, no one would let me do that. And if I did entry level consulting, I'd be working like 60 hours a week, and I have a family. I'm too old for that.
Yeah,
too old, but thank you. But
right.
No, things are fine. Things are fine. I've got my family, my health, all that. It's just January is never a fun month anyway. Are you still doing damp January, Brian?
I did dry-ish January,
Mm-hmm.
which meant there was one night a week I did not drink.
Oh,
so it's dry. No, that's not true. But I did do dry-ish. I didn't go dry. That was I've done it before. It leads to nothing. Listen. If I cut myself off, I'm trying to limit other things. If I limit myself from that too, I'm going to end up like you. And that wouldn't be all bad. But no, I decided I wasn't going to do it this year. So I did though have my first beer I haven't had too much beer in January. Had a
What have
couple
you-
pints of Guinness last Thursday, a couple pints of Guinness yesterday, or Saturday rather. But yeah, I was drinking other stuff. I was drinking whiskey, drinking Irish coffees, drinking wine like I'm Italian.
Huh.
Yeah, oh yeah, I'm very fancy. Pouring out the wine. I actually said we got to order more wine. We got to get more cases of wine up in this house because we're almost out of wine. How many times can I say wine? I should be on the wine council.
How much
wine that many times?
How much wine did you order from that tasting we did?
Well, that was what did we get? I
We've
don't know,
got
maybe
like
12
10
bottles or something. 12 bottles from that tasting. Then we usually we order from Splash when they have deals. That's 18 bottles that come to the house. And then but we haven't ordered from Splash since well before the holidays.
Mm.
And we're trying to drink that stuff because the stuff we had from that tasting was so good. Yeah, I'm on the wine council with an H. A boo-hoo.
Boom.
That's
Let's
what
go.
I do. But yeah, so like, because I've been working like a mule, like a rented mule lately. Coming home from school, immediately prepping for the shows on TMJ, doing the shows on TMJ. Tonight, then I'm here. Then, tomorrow I got something. Wednesday, I have another TMJ show. Thursday, I got something. Friday, I got stand-up. It's crazy, Cody.
Yeah.
And you know what? None of it pays. None of it pays what I'm worth. Let's be honest. I'm working like 87 side hustles. But I did treat myself to a new kilt. Oh, you froze. You froze up too. Now you didn't pay your internet bill.
My utility bill? Who needs to pay that?
You don't need that.
No.
We'll
where'd you get the kilt from? What's the tartan? Spill the plaid.
I got a purple themed tartan from Mardi Gras. Yeah. From the same place I got the last one, Sport Kilt.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's hot.
Ordered it up. And all right, I wasn't planning on talking about this, but we all get bad customer service, so I might as well give a shout out to a place that gives great customer service. So I decided I'm going to do this because I've, it was one of those things. I was like, I'm going to get it. And I couched it to Debbie like, well, you can make it my birthday present. Yeah, stop. Yeah. Anyway, so Saturday night late, I'm sitting around and I go through and I'm looking at the website and I'm like, I don't know if I'll get it in time because I'm leaving on the 14th for Mardi Gras. Come hella high water, I'm out. So I'm on the website and the chat pops up. And I'm like, all right, let me see if this chat is still live. No, it's like 10:30 our time Saturday night. No, Catherine, you know me. I'm authentic. I come correct when I wear my kilt. So I send them a message. I'm like, hey, if I order this kilt with these two modifications, do you think I'd have it by February 13th? And they said, yes, that should be no problem. I'm like, okay, just put it in the notes. So I go through the order, I place the order, and there was nowhere to put notes. So before I logged out, I went back into the chat and I was like, hi, I just placed this order, and I put the order number in there. There was nowhere for notes, but I need to get this by the 13th. I get a message back. Please send me an email at this address, and I will make sure that I put the notes in on Monday. You'll be set. Don't worry. I'm like, okay. And I wait. I don't log out of the chat. I quick send an email. Tell them email sent. Did I send it from my radio station account? You bet I did. Does it carry a little more weight when a media personality, and I use that term very loosely, when someone attached to the fake news wants a kilt at a certain time? I don't know. But Sunday, I get an email back. Thanks for sending me the email. I put all your notes in. You will definitely have it because I had put in the chat. I need it because I'm going to Mardi Gras. You'll definitely. So they responded right away. They sent the emails right away. So now we'll see if I get the kilt in time.
Nice.
Which I'm sure I will.
Yeah.
And then, man, I may never come back. I'll just be a man on Canal Street wandering about in a kilt. Kilt and a jester hat. If you put out an APB, that's how you describe me. I don't know, a giant dude in a purple plaid kilt and a jester hat. You'll see him. Sir, it's July. Yep, the description remains the same.
I would think you're not the only person dressed like that at Mardi Gras, but
you'd be surprised. There's not a lot of guys in kilts at Mardi Gras.
Okay.
There's a few, but not a lot.
Right.
You know,
Okay.
plus I'll have my custom Mardi Gras Vans on, colorful stockings, and you know, some sort of color coordinated top.
A tube top.
Probably a tube top.
Yeah.
Maybe for parade day I wear a halter. So.
Well, you do know how to dress up and clean up in style, do things cleaned up, like all those things. Well, was that your? I think that was that your 5-minute check-in. That was a check-in.
Oh, that was I wasn't even checking in. I don't know. We just got off on a tangent.
Wow. Well, then that was a great 10-minute, 5-minute check-in, 30-second check-in.
Right. We checked in.
Well, now what's your check?
How's the baby, by the way? Let me check in on the newborn.
What
the
baby?
Little one. You got a baby, don't you?
Yeah. It's impossible to remember that she's there anytime my toddler is awake. So I just don't know. You know,
do you ever get to see her? Or is he?
No.
Is he still milking himself?
No,
to get her dinner.
No, I get to see her. You know when I get to see her is when he goes to bed. The second I put him down for a nap, she slept yesterday from the time I woke up to 2:30 p.m. straight. I had to feed her. My wife was out, so I had to feed her bottle while she was asleep. Because it's been like 4 hours and she just wouldn't wake up. So I feed her and she stays asleep. The second I put him in his room and closed the door, she was wide awake. So there's no.
Now, is it that he's jealous or just that he's two?
No. It's just that he's two. He loves her. He's great with her.
He's just full of toddler energy.
Yeah, I think she sleeps better when he's singing Bruce Springsteen as loudly as he can.
If he doesn't sing Bruce Springsteen next time I see him, there will be no trucks or trains.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah.
You got to tell him. You want Brian to come with trucks and trains? You better dance. You got to sing for your supper, kid.
Yeah. No, she's good. She eats a lot. And poops a lot. It's pretty funny. But
hasn't said anything yet?
Nah.
What's she, like a month old?
Something like that.
Not worried that she's developing late?
Couple months. What Springsteen songs? A lot of them. So he was super into Santa Claus is Coming to Town.
Oh, sure.
So at one point he just took his little toy guitar and stood in front of the TV yelling Santa Claus is Coming to Town over and over for like a half hour. And we transitioned to Born in the USA, which is the same thing. The only difference is instead of yelling Santa Claus is Coming to Town over and over, he just yells Born in the USA over and over. But thematically, it's pretty hard to not know the chorus, right? It's just that.
So has he adapted to the guitar now after his initial Christmas meltdown?
He holds it. He's not like playing it, and half the time the strings are in instead of out. But you know, he gets the idea.
Right. But he's holding it. He hasn't completely thrown it away like he did that morning.
Yeah. No, kids are good. I mean, my wife and I have had a lot of conversations. Like, we'll get done with a day, and it doesn't feel like we did anything. But like, we cultivated a family and, you know, helped them develop as humans and kept them alive. So it's like a different, her sister used to say, it's a different kind of productivity.
Yes.
So that's hard.
You're raising the next generation, which is a tough job.
It is. Yeah. It's hard to kind of wrap your head around, particularly when you're not like gainfully employed.
But you know what? Yes, that's a hassle. But you can never get these days back.
Right.
You can always have jobs. You can always work. And down the road, you know, and this is schmaltzy, but nobody's going to go, man, I wish I had worked more and not watch my kid sing Born in the USA for 8 hours straight.
Right.
Or try to milk himself to get his sister some dinner. You know, none of that. No, you're never going to say that. Yes, you want to work, you want to be productive, you want to have money in your own life and be successful, but you are being successful. You know, because I've seen your one kid. I'm about to meet the other one, and if the second one's you know, half as cool as the first one, you're doing a great job. So there you go. There's my listen. That made me very uncomfortable. I don't like to. We don't usually have deep emotional talks. That was as close as we're going to get.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
You're welcome. Yeah, no. Now, don't ever do it again.
Dude, no, I've said it before on the show. I'd rather you watch them hanging out with my little babies than, you know, having some.
Maybe you start a daddy blog. Are those still a thing? The mommy blogs were a big thing.
They are. There are like 80,000. I think there's more than 100,000 mommy blogs out there. It's too many.
What about a daddy cast?
I don't want that. No one wants
Call
that. No
me
one wants
daddy. But just call me daddy, and you'll get all kinds of hits from other, a demographic you're not even talking about. Then you just go out and talk about raising a newborn daughter, and everybody's like, is that code for something? Because it's call me daddy, and I'm waiting for like a spanking or something. But
I mean, if I was shameless, I would just put my son on TikTok because he's adorable, and I know he'd go viral. But like, I'm not gonna sell out my kid. It just feels wrong,
Well, are they going to know?
Maybe that's a good question. Would he be entitled to any of the money? I mean, I'd give him a
Not
lot.
if you never told him. He'd have a nice lifestyle growing up.
Okay. Right,
yeah, just you know what? Just to put your put your finger up, see which way the wind's blowing. Throw up that video you sent me of him at the kitchen table.
It's a good video.
That would go viral. I guarantee it. And then it's like, oh man, and then you never know.
Yeah,
you never know.
I got some good stuff.
People would love to see "Born in the USA" sung by an angry toddler with a guitar that doesn't have strings on it.
I mean, I'm not going to argue with that. I do know how I can do it.
You know what sells.
That's all right. Well, what have you been?
I've been doing.
Wait, hold on. You said all the nice things. We should just pivot. You gotta. I know you're bearing the lead here. You got a bone to pick with me about my LinkedIn post.
I do. I'm trying to be more evolved. You know that about me. I'm trying to air my grievances instead of burying them like a traditional Irishman, where I take my grudges, I bury them, and I carry them around forever. Now, I've been carrying some grudges for decades. They get heavy, but I like them. I like to have that kind of Hatfields and McCoy feud gene still in me, but not with you. So the other day, I'm flipping through it. I get little notifications when you post something on LinkedIn.
Oh no,
because I'm on LinkedIn just under the crazy impression that somebody's going to go, hey, we really like what you do. We'd like to offer you a lot of money to do it for us. So I don't really post on LinkedIn, and I go on there and I look at. So I update my profile there all the time, and I use it. My LinkedIn account is on my new business card, but because that's what all the kids do. But so I see everybody knows you're a professional podcast producer, an award-winning podcast host. You're a manager of podcast people and other people. So you know what you're talking about when it comes to the podcast world. And you were, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm paraphrasing, obviously, but you were kind of chiding people who put that they're podcast hosts on their resume, because what does that mean was your question. That was what you posited. What does that mean? And then you went on to explain that for your former 15-minute science podcast, you listed about 47 things that you had to do. All very impressive. Then you said, for my hour-and-a-half comedy podcast, I sign on 3 to 5 minutes late. I talk to my co-host for 2 minutes. And as soon as we're done, I don't think about it again. Now, while I know all that is true, reading it, I was like, oh, okay. And you didn't mention our name or the name of the podcast. And so I commented that I'm slightly offended by your lackadaisical approach to your second podcast. Some people like that response. I can't believe it got some likes.
I saw Jim and a few other people somehow saw that response. It's pretty good. Yeah. I anticipated this reaction because, of course, I know you've been more active on the LinkedIn. I will say, in my defense, what is also true about preparing for your show, for this show.
Yes, it's
what
our
is also
show.
and for the radio show is a totally different ballgame, right? I would do like 2 to 3 hours of prep work for
yes.
We were both in on that. The hardest thing about this podcast is not like resume worthy, like related. It's not like a thing I would tell a recruiter. The hardest thing about this podcast is having 2 kids back timing when I need to have dinner ready and coordinated with my wife and them, when we need to start bath time, rushing to get him out of the bath if it's like about time to start, getting stories read and getting him, like getting all the timing so I can be here at 8:30, which should be a lot easier it should be a lot easier than I'm making it sound, but it's not. And not having like a screaming child in the next room, which has happened sometimes. So there actually is like 3 to 5 hours of prep work that goes into each episode.
I was going to say, it sounds, the way you described it, you are an expert at time management.
That is a thing that
and that's resume worthy.
And personnel management. Yes,
personnel management,
like human resources,
project management.
Yes, project management.
Because you got to bathe them and feed them.
Yeah. So, unironically, I will say, there was a long time where I was like, damn, this show's really hard to do on time at the right, there's some challenges. So it was to illustrate the point of, I think, more like the documentation that goes in.
I know. I was.
But I'm glad you're giving me a hard time about it, because you totally should. Because the way I said it was, and all the people that liked your post are radio people. They all looked at it. And
they're like, what?
I think like Max commented or something, or like liked it or something. Oh boy.
No, it was fun. I'm reading it and I'm like, wow, look at all this stuff Cody did for his old podcast. This is great. And then, and the other one, I barely show up. I'm like, oh, but it's still good, right? It's okay.
Gina says this is the best podcast out there. Definitely resume worthy. You got a lot of people in the chat.
No, I'm not. I'm kidding. But it was funny. That's why I put a winky emoji. So hopefully, I knew you would know I was kidding, which is really all that's important. But I added the winky emoji so people didn't come at me.
Oh no!
Like why would he put that much time in a comedy podcast?
Who would come at you on LinkedIn though?
I don't know. I don't like the internet. People come at you everywhere.
I don't like LinkedIn. I gotta tell you that.
I remember I did an interview with the founders of LinkedIn before it became big, when it was just starting. Lindsay, my producer at the time, said, hey, you want to do this? Yeah, okay. So we talked to them before they were big. So I've been in on the ground floor.
On the overnight?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, man. See,
that's like the time we had $1 Million Quartet come into the studio at like 3 a.m. Yep. We're just like, oh, look at these guys. That's pretty good music or whatever. And then the next thing you know, it's like the hottest ticket in Chicago.
Well, Catherine still talks about coming in the middle of the night and singing, which she did numerous times.
Yes.
So yeah, people, we were able to. I don't know how we did it. We asked the right people. That was a thing. I've been thinking of again. Now this was either Lindsay or Christy. I think it was Christy. I had to buy a bottle of mustard, and they didn't have the kind I liked. So I got this Mustard Girl mustard because the flavor was kind of out. Were you there when that interview happened? When Mustard Girl was first coming on the shelves, we interviewed the Mustard Girl, the woman who created Mustard Girl, and she was hammered.
You told me about that. No, she came into the Kenmore Life studio where the camera's always on you, and I interviewed her on the cooking show.
Right.
It was not as in-depth at all as probably yours, but that's amazing.
No, mine was not in-depth because she was so drunk. She was she was slurring. She was unintelligible. And this was before, like, their mustard wasn't in Jewel and stuff yet. It was just coming out. And it was like, oh, this is not good.
Before they were stars.
Yes, that's it. Catherine said, one time I couldn't sing and you gulped and did a nice pivot. Well, I'm nothing if not an improviser. You know, I do remember that when you couldn't sing, when Catherine couldn't sing. It's like, all right, we'll talk about something else. Yeah, I think you were there. We had a lot of adventures.
And I can remember there was some incident where, something wasn't quite working and you're like, well, just pivot this way. And it was like, very professional. You're very good at this kind of stuff.
I'm very professional. I had another. All right, we'll segue into. So I did the big corned beef and cabbage dinner for the St. Patrick's Day Parade Committee last Thursday.
Yeah.
Down at Plumbers Hall again, and they had told me. They said, first off, my feet hurt so bad after the Queen contest because I was wearing my fancy tuxedo loafers. I got home and I couldn't even walk. So I decided I'd just wear some comfortable black shoes because thank God I got there at 4. The event didn't start till 7 because I had to be there for like a meeting beforehand to go over the agenda. And then it was 2 hours of cocktail time, which should have been great, but I can't drink 2 hours worth of cocktails and then go on stage and MC an event. So I had no cocktails. But I did run into one friend of ours, Rick Geezer, who is running for mayor of Carroll Stream. He was there. And it was they had told me, they said, listen, this is a much louder group than the Queen contest. Well, there were over 1,200 people at this thing. It's huge. So there's 800 people on the floor at the main hall. There's, what did they say? Like 150 people up in the balcony. And then more people down in the downstairs bar watching on closed circuit television. And they were loud. But I guess in the past, first I walk in, it was so nice. I walk in and from the board, the people on the board of the Plumbers Union to some of the plumbers we had talked to, or I had talked to the week before, everybody was like, oh, Noonan, you're back. It was, so much fun. You did a great job. I'm like, oh, that's, thank you very much. And it felt really nice to be back. So then I'm waiting these 2 hours and, all I wanted to do was have a couple of pints, but I'm not. I was being, good. So then it happens. And I guess in the past, they've had some MCs that decided they were going to take it upon themselves to tell the crowd to shut up and call out tables instead of just talking over them and getting the job done. They were like, table 35, why don't you shut your mouth? I don't know if they did it like John Travolta in Welcome Back, Kotter, but I was channeling that.
Hey.
And so the only thing the main boss said to me, he goes, don't try to quiet him down. I said, perfect. I can talk over loud people. I'm a loud people. And so it went really well, except there were times, the only time they quieted down was when Catherine got up to sing the Irish and the U.S. national anthems because she asked them to be quiet. And then she started singing. And of course, if you talk through the national anthem, you're kind of a jerk.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, they talk like nobody's business through the invocation. This deacon came in because the priest who was supposed to do the invocation got sick. He was a former Grand Marshal. He got sick. So a friend of his who's a deacon and a plumber, the best of both worlds, which I thought was going to get a little laugh, they didn't even hear it. He starts doing the invocation, and I'm like, are they going to be quiet for, a blessing? No, not really. They got things to do. Everybody was having fun. Everybody's politicking one way or another. Everybody's moving around. They were all in their seats because I had to spend almost 10 minutes telling everybody at the beginning, not quiet them down, just, hey, make your way to your tables so the Shannon Rovers and the dignitaries can all come parading in. And even then, the president of the union is like, just keep hitting it. Just keep saying it. Just keep telling them to sit down. Like, okay. But overall, it was a lot of fun. I sat next to Mayor Lori Lightfoot's wife for a few moments, said hello to her. She was nice. The mayor claims she had met me before. I don't remember, but I came down to sit. I wasn't really eating, but I came down to sit because during dinner, they had that speed painter, the performance painter, Elliot Fromm, who does and it was great. He did 2 paintings. We sold 3 paintings. How's that possible? I don't know. I'm a good auctioneer. That's why. Because we sold the 3 paintings went for over 10 grand combined. So everybody was happy because Daddy knows how to work a room. But I said to the mayor, oh, hello, Mayor Lightfoot. I'm Brian Noonan. We've met before. You're doing a wonderful job tonight. Okay, I'm pretty, yeah. I missed the governor. He was only in the downstairs bar and didn't stay. because I had a list of about 30 politicians that I had to acknowledge at one point, and the governor wasn't on it. So he was gone. But all right, that leads to the moral quandary.
Oh.
It all ties in.
Where's the buzzer?
So I whisper this, but Debbie knows all about it. So it's not really a moral quandary. It wasn't a moral quandary because I knew what was going to happen.
Okay.
So one of the members of the board of the plumbers union was there. She's like, "Oh, Noonan, you're here. Blah, blah, blah. It was so great to see you." And then she said, "Are you going to this event at Gaelic Park?" And I was like, "Oh, no, I didn't know about it." She shows me, she goes, "You need to be my +1." I'm like, "Oh." She goes, "My husband doesn't like to dress up, and I'd really like it if you'd be my +1." I was like, "Well, I don't know, when is it?" And she tells me, and I'm like, "Oh, I don't know." And in my mind, I'm like, "There's no way Debbie's there's no way this could happen." So what do I tell Debbie? I'm squiring some other woman to an event, even though it's all above board. So that then she goes and tells the boss, "Put me down for +1. I don't know if it's going to be my husband or Noonan." And I'm like, "Oh boy." And I'm like, "Oh boy." And then all night, "You better go. You better be my +1. You better tell me." And I was like, "I got to check my schedule. I think I might have something going. I don't know. I'll let you know tomorrow. You better let me know. You better let me know." I'm like, I will let you know." So I come home and I immediately tell Debbie. I said, "This is, this woman wants me to be her +1. I'm going to text her tomorrow and tell her I can't go." Okay. I'm like, uh-oh. Did I do something wrong? I was just being me. And, somebody asked me, I didn't, I wasn't soliciting dates. So the next day I look at my calendar. I did have something going that night. And I said, "Oh, I got to text that woman and tell her that I'm not going." Uh-huh. So here's the moral quandary wasn't if I should go or not, because I knew the answer was no. Now I'm like, should I have even mentioned it to Debbie? Because it wasn't like, "Hey, check me out. Chicks want to take me to an event."
Is she trolling you?
Who? The woman?
Your wife.
I don't know if Debbie is trolling me. In what sense?
Shouldn't you know? Like, is she just giving you a hard time
I don't know.
Okay. Well,
that's the problem. Now I'm thinking, but if I didn't say something and sometime I'm telling the story and she hears it, she go, "Why did you ever tell me that somebody wanted to take you out?" And she didn't want to take me out. The woman was like, my husband is going to know. And I was like, I understand all that. That's fine. But, one, I couldn't go. Two, I wasn't going to go. But the third part was, should I tell the wife?
Man.
And since I wasn't hiding anything, I was like, yeah, this happened at the thing.
Yeah. I mean, I think you should have told her. Roger in the chat saying you should have told the other woman right away. No, I don't know if I agree with that.
Not at the event. I didn't want. I told her I'd text her the next day.
Yeah, let me check my schedule.
Let me check my schedule. That's fair.
I think that running it like I don't. Yeah, I mean I don't know.
I didn't want an issue with the event.
Yeah, like I don't know. It's annoying that you can't just do that and it not be a problem. Like my wife recently enrolled my son in this like gymnastics thing or whatever through the park district. So he goes and basically runs around like a maniac for an hour. And she went and she said, she's like, "Oh yeah, there's a bunch of people. There's a bunch of parents there. You probably meet a bunch of people. Like there were a couple moms that were really nice." And I'm just like, I'm not going to talk to them. Like, are you crazy?
You're not talking to any stay-at-home moms?
Do you think that if I brought my 2-year-old son to a thing with moms with their kids, I would talk to a single woman? Hell no. Are you kidding? That's a recipe for death. That is a recipe for disaster. That is totally inappropriate. Like, first of all, they're all then I'm immediately the creep. So I can't even
you'd be the creep if you just went there without a kid. Then you'd definitely be a creep. Who's this dude just hanging around?
No, dude. Like if I see If I see a woman at the park with her kid or the playground when I go with my kid, there's a quick little nod, maybe a brief acknowledgement, and then I stay as far away as possible. So, okay, come on, bud. And then just walk away. Like, no, it's not allowed. It's not allowed. I'm the creep. Like, men are not allowed. Men are aggressors. And they are not allowed. Like, and it sucks because I'm cuddly.
Well, all right.
Harmless.
What if one of them, like, say you take your son to this gymnastics thing, and he's up there doing an iron cross, and you've got some time to kill, and one of the other moms goes, "Oh, is that your son?" And you say, "Yes." She says, "Oh, I think we live down the block. My name is Brandy. I'm a fine girl. Fine. What a good wife I would be, but I'm single. Wink, wink. Do you talk to her, or do you just run away screaming?
I mean, I'll engage people that engage me, but I'm going to do it very awkwardly. It's dumb. It's dumb. Like when I was, it was like 2011 or 2012. I was still doing the overnight show with you. I was dating this one girl, and a very close friend of mine from high school asked me to be her +1 at the wedding of a mutual friend. She was a bridesmaid in this friend's wedding that we knew since high school. It was like 6 years after high school. No, like 8 years after high school, 9 years after high school. And I immediately, without even consulting my girlfriend at the time in Chicago, I was like, yeah, absolutely. Like, it's a wedding. It's our friend that we hung out with all the time. It's you. I've known you since first grade.
Right.
Like, yes, we're doing this. And when I told the girlfriend, she was not real happy about that.
Yeah.
Now, I get that a wedding is different, but like that always stuck with me for two reasons. One, now I know the rules are you don't apparently do that, which I think is dumb. And two, how much of a rule it is. But I still think you check, right? Like,
well, but I didn't ask. I knew I wasn't doing it. So I didn't ask Debbie for permission.
No, you know what it is? She thought that because you mentioned it, you were fishing. That was your indirect way of asking.
No, I knew I wasn't going.
But I'm just saying.
Maybe you could be right.
When you said, "Oh, hey, funny story. This girl asked me to whatever." She, in her mind, that translates in woman speak to you saying, "Hey, this chick wants to bring me to a soiree. Are you cool if I go or not?" And that's like the translate. The Google Translate in her brain just went straight there to thinking you wanted to go. And so that's the issue.
No, there's no way I wanted to go.
But it doesn't
matter. Or no
matter.
way I could go or wanted to go or was asking.
Your
now, Catherine says she was totally out of line. I'm not sure who. I'm maybe the woman who asked me. That's what I'm going to go with. Yeah, no,
I be her +1.
I don't know. Do you want to go?
My wife will.
She's
totally...
everybody there is very friendly. Yeah, you and your wife go as a +1. Just have Casey on your shoulders and you wear a really long coat and go like Master Blaster.
Ooh.
and then all of a sudden, why is your groin drinking copious amounts of beer? Well, I don't know. And it has such a long arm. That's so weird.
Mm.
So
that's too bad. Well, I don't think
it was a weird situation.
Right. What you did wasn't wrong from your point of view, but it was the wrong move.
However, if I think the wrong move would have been not saying anything. Because I would have told that story here. Just to go, hey, look at me. Just because I would have played it up on here just for comedic purposes.
I don't know. I'm just glad I got the opportunity to mansplain woman speak. You're welcome,
I like
Marta.
how you do that. Yeah. Listen, we got to translate the ladies because let's be honest, they're very complicated little creatures.
They're smarter than me most of the time.
Well, they're smart. They're smart. I'll give them that. They're wily and cunning. Yeah. It's all of those things. So yeah, that was my quandary. If I was like, I thought I did the right thing. I thought I was correct. I thought I had come correct, as the kids say.
Have you tried being less popular?
See, here's the problem. When I go to these things, I'm charming Brian. I'm Brian in a tux. I'm Mr. Suave and debonair. I always have my ring on. I make no secret of anything. But yeah, they hired me because, as they say, we want your Irish charm. And I got it in spades, brother. So I turn it on. People, it's not fake. It's just I do the job I'm supposed to.
Speaking of the Irish thing,
yeah,
I saw a tweet that I think you'll find entertaining.
Yeah,
some woman on Twitter, I don't know who this is. I guess she's kind of a nut job, and she tweeted. She is. You'll know why. She goes, "It was amazing to go to Belfast, which does not yet have 5G, and feel the earth, sky, air, human experience, feel the way it did in the 1970s. Calm, still, peaceful, restful, natural."
Calm, still, and restful are adjectives for Belfast?
Don't think that she knows a lot about Belfast in the 1970s. But
no, and I also don't think she turned on her phone because there's Wi-Fi in Belfast.
Maybe they don't have 5G.
Well, I was able to work my phone and do all sorts of things in Belfast.
Well,
but it was not, the time we were there, it seemed peaceful during the day, but we were told many times it is not always. And the fact that they have a wall with barbed wire on top of it does not mean it's peaceful.
Maybe it was completely lost my train of thought.
I don't know.
I got a message on Twitter from our viewer listener Mike about a bar that he was at this weekend that is terrifying. I will have to. Oh
well, God. Yeah, he mentions it. Take her to the bar I sent Cody on Twitter. I can't take my wife to a terrifying bar.
I can't even show pictures of this on the podcast.
What kind of bar is it? Just give me. You can describe things. You're talented.
Okay, looks like it's in some kind of log cabin kind of situation, a little bit rustic. Wow. So just to give you a taste, there's a really big flag at the top. One of them says, "Let's go, Brandon."
Oh,
the other one is a bad American flag close up with Trump 2020. And that's fine. People are entitled to their beliefs. Followed by some of the most racist things I've ever seen.
Wow.
Like the bar. Oh, hold on.
Uh-oh.
The bar could literally just be, the whole place could be painted with a Union Jack and be less racist significantly than the pictures that he just sent me. Like, wow. I feel like I might be on some list just for looking at these. This is so not okay.
Mike, why would you send that to Cody?
So not okay.
He says it's a barn in the middle of nowhere.
It sure is, and I hope it sinks into the ground and the owners die a quick death. This is horrific. It's horrific. There's dollar bills thumbtacked to all these columns, but they're $1 bills. But instead of George Washington's face, it's Donald Trump's face.
Because that's legal tender.
This is awful. Wow. This is special. This is special. I've never seen something this offensive. Truly.
That's hilarious.
Anyway, let's not go to that bar.
All right, we won't go to that bar.
That was Mike says I'm on a list for being there. Yeah, I wasn't.
That sounds like a place that's under surveillance nonstop by the government.
Oh my God. I mean, it would be really funny to bring one of my unsuspecting friends there just to like get their reaction, but Is it in
Illinois?
Yeah, it's got to be Wisconsin. It has to be Wisconsin.
Could be Southern Illinois.
That's shoot.
Anything south of Kankakee?
I'm betting like an hour north of Madison. That's where
really?
Or honestly,
farther north, maybe northwards.
It belongs in Indiana, to be clear. But for some reason, I don't think it's there. Far south suburbs. Wow.
Ooh. Tell us which one, Mike.
All right.
It's gonna end up like where I used to live.
Like a block.
I used to go there.
Wow.
But it was just a country bar.
I'll send you these pictures after. This is
that's terrifying.
He said Elon wouldn't let him DM you, but oh my God.
Thank goodness. Yeah, nobody did. I don't know. Oh, that's scary.
Wow.
All right. Well, yeah, so that was the That was the Plumbers and the Moral Conundrum, which is the name of my next album.
Is it?
Plumbers and the Moral Conundrum.
Oh, well,
it's like that Smashing Pumpkins album. Whatever. It's that kind of long. Melancholy and the Infinite whatever.
Sadness.
Yeah. So that's what we're going to call this.
All right.
Plumbers and the Moral Conundrum.
All right.
The live album.
I'm down.
But I did look good. It was got to meet and hang with the mayor of County Cork for a little while. Yeah, that was nice. We had a nice conversation. Told him I had just been over there. He found a new Guinness that he loved. It was a Guinness coffee. The Guinness coffee beer, the
Really?
coffee stout. Yeah, he was like, "Have you tried this?" I said, "No, I haven't." Oh, it's very good. Then I heard him get another one. So he liked that. And he was wearing his big, because they call them counselors, and he had his big chainmail medal on. It was very cool. He was very nice. And at the head of the president of the Illinois AFL-CIO, who is now the Grand Marshal this year. Saw the Queens again. The Queens Court was all, I was like, "How you doing, ladies?" "Oh, Brian, nice to see you." Then I wore a different bow tie, and they're like, "Oh, that's a nice bow tie." I said, "Well, I didn't want you ladies to think I only had one bow tie since I'm wearing the same suit you saw me in 2 weeks ago." Like, you're so charming. You want to be our +1? I said, "No, I can't. This is getting me in a lot of trouble. Everybody stop asking me out."
Yeah. Every time, man. Every time.
Man, who knew? Who knew I was this goddamn gregarious?
I don't know.
I don't either. It's a burden that I'm carrying, Cody. I can't believe it. I'm reading Catherine's quote. "If you want to get the feel of Northern Ireland in the late 70s and early 80s, read the Sean Duffy series by Adrian McKinty. It's excellent." You know I can't read. Why does she say that? Why does she taunt me with my illiteracy? So that is yeah. So that was that. And then I had this talk with my mom the other day. Now there's a difference. Are you someone, and I'm not talking about immediate family, because immediate family is different. Do you think that as an adult you should ask another adult to drive you to the airport? And again, immediate family disqualified from that. So your mom, dad, brother, sisters, that's out of the conversation. If like I asked you to drive me to the airport, what would you think? What would you think of me?
Like I would, yeah, that's fine.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. Boy, I don't think that way.
I've had friends visit and, not just like coming to stay with me visit, but like I've had friends like, if it's like, "Oh, you can swing by other way out of town." "Oh, I gotta, get a ride to the airport." "Oh, well, whatever." I guess it doesn't really count. But no, I mean, if I had a friend, I don't know, my friend Sean that hosts all of us at his house in Minneapolis,
Okay.
like he gets a house full of people. I fly in, and if I fly in, he'll just send someone to get me from the airport. I know these aren't really what you're looking for, but
No.
see,
I'm looking for how you feel.
I don't have any local friends, but if I did,
Yeah, that's the bonus of me too. Other than you, and you're not going to call me to take you to the airport.
right?
Now you know not to.
Yeah, I don't know. I would
do it, but I would resent the person because I'd be like, "You're a grown adult. You can't call an Uber. You can't take a cab. You gotta, because the airport, taking somebody and picking somebody up from the airport is a hassle."
Mm-hmm.
And I had this conversation with my mom because she's like, friends of hers will ask her at 87 to drive them to the airport. And I think that is ridiculous. And she does it. And so she mentioned that, like, sometimes my aunt will take my mom to the airport, but that falls in the immediate family category, which is completely different. And I said to my mom, I go, "Of course I will always drive you to the airport. And if one of my brothers flew in and asked me to pick them up, I would pick them up in a second." But, I don't think unless you're blood related to somebody or married to them, you should be asking them to take you to the airport, especially when that other person is 87 or 57.
Yeah, the 87 is that's a little off. The airport's a stressful place to drive.
It's horrible. It's horrible. I will say though, we got some. Again, somebody must be watching out for me. I got good customer service from Sport Kilt. I pulled up to drop my mom at Midway on Saturday at like, I don't know what time, maybe 10:30, let's say, in that area, 10:30. And she, you know, she can barely walk. And I'm not saying that for comedic purposes. It's just a fact. She can barely walk. So I was like, all right, how does this work? Because I haven't taken her to the airport. She goes, oh, I pull up to the Sky Cap and they go, I'm like, all right. So I get there and I'm waiting to pull up to the farthest Sky Cap to the right next to the Southwest doors, Southwest Airlines. And I see somebody's there unloading. And there's a lot of people at the airport that move with a sense of urgency. I was not behind those people. They were, maybe their flights could have been 4 days from then. They were taking their time. And I'm being patient because I can't swear because my mom's in the car. So I'm waiting because I see right in front of them is nothing, and I'll be able to get right up on the curb by the Sky Cap. And I'm waiting. Finally, I get up there, and I jump out. I throw on the flashers, and I grab my mom's bags. By the time she opens her door, I waved to one of the Sky Caps, and I said, hey, I've got a senior citizen here who needs some help, and we're going to check. She's like, okay. And I said, she needs and this guy was great. He goes, okay, does she need a wheelchair? Yep. Okay, just have her wait right there. I'll go get the wheelchair. So I take the bags. I put them up there. My mom's like, where are my bags? I'm like, I already put them up there. But I said, do you want to walk up to where the bags are? Literally, the bags are 8 feet away. I'm on the curb. The bags are right there. We're looking right at the bags. Nobody's coming up and planting anything in her bags. Everything's fine. They're on the scale at the Sky Cap. But I'm like, all right. So I help her up the curb, and out comes the guy. He's got the wheelchair. He goes, hold on a second. He wipes it all down for her, sits her down. My mom hands him her driver's license and a nice tip to grease the wheels. But he's already done nice stuff, so it wasn't the tip that got him there. And then he goes, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you inside. Then I'm going to come out and do everything because I don't want you sitting outside in the cold. Like, that was very nice. So at that, and then one of the cops, and the cops at the airport, they're always yelling at people to keep moving and stuff. I had my flashers on, and the woman came up by my car, and I said, ma'am, I'm just helping my mom. She's like, don't worry about it. Wow.
Nice.
What airport did I go to? The airport in the Sugar Plum Fairyland? Because everybody's being way too nice. But yeah, so that was good. But on the way there, I said to my mom the same thing about, not driving people to the airport. She just thinks I'm one of the meanest people on the planet because I won't drive not strangers, but friends or acquaintances to the airport.
If she's a good driver and enjoys the company and doesn't...
One, she's not. Two, she might enjoy the company. They could all come, sit in her living room and talk.
Yeah.
That'd be lovely.
Yeah.
Just do that. You don't need to be taking people to the airport because it's a really old lady taking other really old ladies to the airport. And all these really old ladies have, they got pensions coming in from their late husbands and whatnot. There's money there. There's not, they're okay. But they're old school. See, back in the day, everybody used to drive everybody to the airport.
I mean, yeah, right. And that, generationally, dude, an Uber from my place is like 60 or 70 bucks.
I understand.
And it really climbs up there pretty quick. So
I understand. And I am selfish and heartless. That's, we know that. And gregarious and good looking.
Right. And yes. And feral.
Like a dog.
Mm-hmm. But what would they drive your mom if she requested?
She would never.
But I'm just saying, would they?
No, because none of them drive on the highway.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a little messed up. I wouldn't drive someone to the airport that wouldn't drive themselves or wouldn't drive. Yeah,
you want some quid pro quo? Is that what you're saying?
No, I just, if it's somebody I feel like is just kind of using me for my airport driving skills, which are mellifluous, fine.
Mellifluous?
Mellifluous, yeah. It's not the right word, but we'll go with it.
It's a big word. I like it. It's a very large word.
Yeah.
Mike says, I'm with you. Even before Uber, we'd hire a limo to go to the airport. That's big. That's big pimping right there.
Yeah.
I did that. I think my mom did it once or twice, and I did it once, I think. We took a limo to the airport. But that was a flight where we were leaving at like 5 a.m. and we had to be there at 4, and it was like,
I took
sometimes
a limo.
It's nice to be a baller.
I took a limo home from an ex-girlfriend's house one time because I
Did
couldn't
you
get
really?
I couldn't get a cab or an Uber, and his limo pulls up. He's like, "Where are you trying to go?" And I was like, I was in a hurry. I had to get somewhere. Maybe I don't remember what. I think I was going home.
Wait a minute. Are you doing a scene from Boogie Nights?
No, I had to be somewhere. And so he was, I think he said up front, he was like, I was like, how much? And he was like, $20. And at the time that was pretty high, but because this was like 2013, probably early 2014 is the latest. So Uber wasn't quite as saturating and everything. And, cabs were hard to get. And I was like, what the heck? So I had $20. I was like, all right.
Nice.
Because we only went like a mile north. Like it wasn't, it was on, she lived right on Damon and I lived right off Damon. So it basically was just like a bus ride.
So you didn't even have enough time to take advantage of the complimentary bar in the back?
No.
That's a drag.
It was all ripped up. I remember, you know what? I went to WGN that day. It might have been, maybe he drove me to WGN for all I know. I don't know.
If you came to that job in a limo, you were doing it all backwards.
No, because he said something super racist and I told you about it. I specifically remember. And
I wish I remembered.
I don't remember what he said, but I definitely remember it was one of those like something those people kind of comments.
Oh,
I don't know about who, but it was not
just some group of those people.
Yeah, or maybe it was about women. It was something that was just kind of like overtly like, oh, you shouldn't say that. And I totally told you about it. But, that's forever ago. I don't know.
I don't remember. Nancy, watch out. I'm an 87-year-old lady. Would not even drive myself to. I love 87-year-old women, Nancy. I got nothing against 87-year-old women unless they're asking my mom to drive them to the airport. Then I got an issue. Not gonna lie, a little issue. It was funny. It was like I was dropping off an unaccompanied minor to the airport because I dropped my mom. She goes with the sky cap. She's wheeled away. I immediately call my brother, who was very gruff when he answered the phone. Hello, Brian. I'm like, hey, number 5, what's going on? I'm at a farmer's market with the dogs. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to keep you. I just wanted to tell you, mom's at the airport. Please text me when you get her. So as soon as she's left my possession, it's like we needed to put an Apple tag on her. I said, I've dropped her. I've watched her get rolled into the airport. That's as far as I can go. The minute you have her in custody, you need to text me and let me know she made it. So she did. She made it. Now she's down there for a while, enjoying Florida.
Nice.
As all old people should.
Soaking up some sun.
Well, according to her, my brother told her it was cold, so she brought her sweatshirts.
Okay.
I don't know. She's gonna have fun down there, and then so that's good.
Cold or Florida cold? Because it's cold here.
It's ridiculously cold here.
Weather, am I right?
Yeah, now we are old men talking about. And I'll tell you another thing, you son of a. It's freezing cold. My rheumatism is acting up. My hip hurts. Everything aches. I wake up in the morning. I can't even get a stiffy anymore. It's so cold. My nards are frozen.
Wow.
Like a bag of peas.
Wow.
Yeah. It's my old man character.
It's impressive.
Which is very, very close to my real life. That's how it goes. Mike put an air tag in his mom's purse. It's good thinking. Well, my luck, she'd lose her purse and she'd arrive in Florida fine, and the purse would be in like, who knows, Phoenix. And I'd be like, why is she in Phoenix? I'd be calling Southwest. I'd be panicked. My mom's in Phoenix.
Oh, man.
It's a dry heat.
I lost my headphones on my flight to Ireland. They were Bluetooth. My Bluetooth headphones.
How'd you lose your headphones?
I just forgot them. Oh. It was a long flight, long day, long flight.
Yeah. Did you cry?
No, I submitted a lost report immediately. They never got back to me. Stupid.
I only did that once. I left my iPad on a flight coming back from New Orleans, and I immediately remembered it, like halfway home. And I got it back because I called and they were, called immediately to Southwest, and I described it to a T, and they go, hold on. Yes. Oh, somebody turned it in. I'm like, what? I'm a lucky man. I keep winning the lotto. That was years ago, though. Who knows?
Well,
what else
I was
you got?
trying to think of a transition to the arts and crafts marathon, but then I realized I didn't actually have one.
Oh,
and I could force one, but then
force one. Let me hear a forced transition.
And then I was like, but maybe we're not ready to move on to it.
I don't know.
And then I was like,
do you have another movie review? Have you watched any other movies that you wanted to review?
No. We watched the WWE Royal Rumble on Saturday. That was all right.
Who was rumbling? And has it changed since Vince has come back?
No, it's pretty much the same. I don't really know what's going on over there. Rumble is fine. It was fine. You watch because you're like, oh, what surprising person will come back? And then like no one does. It's fine. There was a men's rumble. It was fine. There was a women's rumble. It was fine. Like they were good. It's fine.
You're underselling this thing, I think.
Or
maybe you're overselling.
I don't know. I'm an AEW guy, but we missed last week because we had something going on, ? I went to my cousin's, had a birthday party in River North. So I took the Metro in and went to a bar in River North like I was in my 20s and cool.
Wow, how'd that work out?
Well, it's the second 30th birthday I've been to in River North in the last year. Man, I guess that's where the 30
Is that where the 30-year-olds go?
I guess, yeah. It was weird. It was hard to, I don't have my conversational reps in.
No,
so like,
you're out of practice.
Yeah, because you get to talk to the people and then like they say a thing and they're like, well, how's your life? Well, how about that thing I did? Okay. And then you're just, I don't know. You don't know what
you
to
just
say
talk
next.
about your kids nonstop?
Yeah, right. And then I'm like, well, I'm the only dad here, so I can't like do that whole deal. But then like, I say like, oh, I love newborns. They're really cute. And then, the girls are like, oh, will you be my plus one for something? Yeah. And it's
you don't want to be anybody's plus one.
No, I don't.
That's not good.
No, I don't want to leave in this condition.
So where is River North now? Because I used to know where River North was, but I'm not sure where the bar area for River North is.
Yeah, so it's just, man, I'm not, there's no better way to say this.
I love that you started that sentence 27 times.
There's no better way to say this. And that is the only reason I'm saying it.
All right.
It's not because I have an attitude, but River North is the area just adjacent to the river on the north side of the river.
I know that.
I know you know that. And I know that you know that I know that you know that.
Right.
It's the only way I can describe it.
Well, I mean, there used to be, all right, north of the river and north of the Jane Addams or the whatever they call that, the Mae West or whatever it is that comes in, off Orleans, that used to be a big block of bars. Back when I was still, 20s and 30s and going out to bars in River North. Then, it changed a little. So I'm wondering like what area, like where are the bars? Are they are they all spread out? Is there a little district? I don't know, because Molly lives in Printer's Row.
Ooh.
So that's just south of River North, I believe.
Right. Wouldn't Printer's Row be south of the Loop?
Sure.
I think it's River. So River North. I know, like, Merchandise Mart is a pretty notable landmark.
Right.
You go north, probably to Fullerton, and that's River North, and then everything north of Fullerton becomes Old Town.
Right. I know that.
I would say, is it North Avenue or Fullerton? Yeah. I think
no, North Avenue. Yeah, North Avenue. You're too far. You're in Old Town. You're like in the heart of Old Town at North Avenue.
Oh yeah.
You got to come south.
No, you're right. I'm sorry. North of Chicago Avenue is Old Town. I was totally wrong. Okay. So north of Chicago Avenue is Old Town. So probably Chicago Avenue, basically down to the river. And then I'm not sure quite how far east and west. I know Merchandise Mart's in it and a little bit west of there. And then it goes as far east as probably like Trump Tower or so is probably where River North pretty much cuts off.
So where'd you go? Was
it
a club?
There's a couple bars, really the kind of the heart of it's like, not the heart of it, but there's a lot of bars right there on the street where Merchandise Mart is. Is that Kinsey or yeah, Kinsey. Okay. Kinsey's where a bunch of stuff is. A bunch of bars all lined up there, and they're kind of hot and clubby. But I don't know. Yeah. This one was kind of more low key, chill, and not that crowded. It was a Thursday, so not too bad. But I'm not.
It's Friday
otherwise-
Eve, brother. You're not on. You're out on Friday Eve.
No, Thursday is the peak of what I can do. That's pushing it. It's pushing it, pushing it. But I don't know. It's a fine place to be if you're like young and you can't. Like I'm apathetic about going out. Why would I? It's like going being a plus. Why would I be someone's plus one? Why would I go to a bar? Same question, right? What am I going to do at a bar? I'm going to pay too much money and have an atmosphere where I hurt my voice. Like those aren't things that I want.
No, because you've got to protect the instrument.
I do the instruments. So around Rock and Roll McDonald's also is a good place in River North.
Yeah, that's where all the single kids go to, single kids who are 16.
Dude.
That's why Roger's hanging around there.
One night in my 20s after a bar night, I ended up at the Rock and Roll McDonald's with one or two friends. And I was like, I need to go here every night because at like 2 or 3 a.m. at Rock and Roll McDonald's, that's where all the hotties go after they've gone clubbing and chilling.
Really?
So you got a bunch of super drunk, like gorgeous people just like in their, dressed to the nines and they're wasted and they're energetic usually.
And they're eating filet-o-fish.
Recapping their night, like girls walking around in sequin dresses, dudes in all their, polo shirts and stuff, or whatever people wear. I don't know. Sequins. God.
Did you go to the Rock and Roll McDonald's or 1987?
Wait,
Where were you visiting?
Speaking of the 80s, wait, I had a review question for you, movie review. Have you seen Dazed and Confused?
Yes.
That keeps coming up on every list we look up of like things to watch. Is it good?
It's pretty funny. Yeah, it's pretty good. Got some classic lines.
Okay.
All right, all right, all right.
Okay. It's Matthew
McConaughey's first movie, and he ad-libbed that.
Really?
All right, all right, all right. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
One good thing about I get older, they girls stay the same age. Yeah.
Which I thought was from Family Guy.
Nope.
Because Quagmire says it in Family Guy.
Yes, it's from Dazed and Confused. So it's fun. We watched the Elvis movie.
Which Elvis movie?
The new Elvis movie by Lars Berman or Laszlo T. Birkenstock.
Baz Luhrmann.
Yeah, Baz Luhrmann. That's it. Baz Luhrmann. Yeah, it was like part of it was like a fever dream, much like a lot of Baz Luhrmann's works are. But Austin Powers, the guy who plays Elvis, he was Austin something.
Mike Myers?
No, the guy's first name is Austin. Can't remember his last. Austin Reed, Austin Burroughs, Austin Chumley. He's nominated for an Oscar. He did a really good job as Elvis. And then I forgot how much I hated the Colonel and how much I felt sorry for Elvis. And I always think Elvis died when he was an old man because he was bloated and forgetting stuff. He was only 42 when he died. Yeah. So I was it was good. It was Austin Butler. Thank you, Gina. Austin Butler. It's kind of sad, but then it's kind of weird because you remember that he met Priscilla when she was like 14 or 15 in Germany. So that was weird. He was in the army.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. I did know that.
Because according to this, which made it was kind of told from the Colonel's perspective as the villain of the story, even though he claims he was not the villain throughout the story. Tom Hanks plays the Colonel with the worst prosthetic nose since Witchy Poo in the old BJ or HR Puffin stuff. Sid and Marty Krofft cartoon or live action series. But it was good. It was worth a watch. It was parts of it, like I said, were like a fever dream, like in Moulin Rouge. But other parts of it were really good. And the kid sang well. He looked like Elvis. It was pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
You just reminded me of something with your HR Puffin stuff reference.
That's a reference right there. What did I remind you? You were too young for HR Puffin stuff.
No, I wasn't.
Was he your friend when things got rough?
He was my friend when things got rough. Yeah.
Oh, he can't do a little because he can't do enough.
Nah, absolutely not. No, he was no, but you reminded me of a show on Netflix. Have you watched Gudetama? An Excellent Adventure? It's this Japanese CGI show. You've got to watch it. It's
All right.
like 10 minutes an episode. They're really short, and it's about this like it's about an egg, like a cracked egg that's just the yolk.
All right.
That like just walks around, like rolls around apathetically. And there's another eggshell from this carton that pops, that opens and cracks open, and is a little chick. And the chick wants the little egg to go find their home or something, like their true home, the farm where they came from.
Okay.
And the yolk is just this like super apathetic, like like hates doing anything. Like anytime she's just like, hey, let's go over here. He's just like, and it's so funny. Like, I highly recommend. It's called Gudetama. I guess it was.
Is it subtitled or is it in English?
It's dubbed. It's
dubbed. Okay.
And the it's just so funny. I mean, granted, I was really high when I watched the first couple episodes, but it was really funny.
I wonder if that's the key.
It could be, but it goes really off the rails really quickly. And they'll be doing something, and it kind of gets into the plot, and you're like, oh, I can follow this. And then they just take like a hard left, and you're like, wait, what? And then suddenly they're doing something totally absurd, and it cuts it in with real Japanese actors walking around like chefs and stuff like that. And occasionally then it'll splice them, and it's I can't even describe it. It's very funny. Gudetama. It's Gudetama, an excellent adventure.
That's
on
excellent.
Netflix.
Dude,
I highly recommend it.
I will check it out. I will check it, as they used to say on Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Oh,
yeah.
Are you gonna check it out while you're doing arts and crafts?
Oh, nice segue, Cody. You're learning. It's only taken you 15 years to learn from the segue master. Now, snatch this segue from my hand.
Back to you, Brian. Don't know what you were talking about. What? Yes, he's the Eeyore of eggs, Marta. It's so good.
The Eeyore of eggs.
But like, wait, it's so funny. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Coup d'etat? Coup d'etat? No,
Coup d'etat. Just look up Excellent.
I'll look up Excellent Adventure or something. Mm-hmm. And I'll watch Bill and Ted.
Just watch the first. It's like 10 minutes.
All right.
You got nothing to lose.
I'll invest it. I got nothing to lose. What do I got to lose? What do I have to do? I got 10 minutes to burn. That's really all I have to burn. 10 minutes. That's it. No, this weekend was the big. I learned again that I am not artsy or craftsy, because this was the weekend we had to make all our signature mask throws for the Mardi Gras parade. So every crew has a signature throw. And, one Zulu has coconuts that are painted. Nyx has purses. Muses has shoes. Tux has plungers and toilet brushes that are all custom made. And Morpheus, my crew, has sleep masks, because Morpheus is the god of sleep. Mm-hmm. Ironic, because I rarely get to sleep. Yet, so we got to make the masks, and you have to, we buy all these sleep masks in bulk from Amazon, and then you got to decorate them. And it's a project. Here, I will show you some, just so you can be awed. So this is just a quick little look at some of the masks that we made.
Wow.
They're fancy, aren't they?
They're very fancy, yeah.
Very fancy. Now, Debbie and I last week made the mistake of watching 6 tutorials by a man who, let's just say, could be insane, because he was filming these YouTube tutorials from his craft room, which I surmised later also contained human heads and doll parts. That was because he sounded much like the late actor Leslie Jordan. And so you'll have to look him up for that reference. And I will say, his masks are beautiful. He posted a lot of them. They're gorgeous. But he is nuts. Like he pulls out a binder. He goes, I have a binder of all these transfers that I made. The binder had to be 6 inches thick, with different pages of these, like the Morpheus logo and different things that take about 8 steps to create. And we realized very quickly that we were not going to be able to copy or emulate his masks. But we did take some. So Saturday night, after we take my mom to the airport and we wait for a contractor to come to her house, Debbie and I get home, and we spent 5 hours doing nothing but coating 60 masks with glitter, which was an arduous process. You know, when you're in the hospital and they give you those kidney-shaped trays that you spit into or you vomit into or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
I was using those with some notches cut out as holders for the mask. Then we had to take tacky glue, which I was squeezing so hard for so long, my wrist, which had been feeling great after the surgery, swelled up.
Oh.
That's how hard I was squeezing this tacky glue for 5 hours.
Wow.
Once you squeeze all this glue onto the mask, then you take a paintbrush and you smear it around so that there's just one big coating of glue. You put the mask with the glue in a little container and you pour glitter on it. Just pour glitter like there's no tomorrow. And the weight of all the glitter makes it stick to the glue. Then you shake it off and it's glued. Then you have to, so we had 6 or 8 different tubs on the table for the different colors of glue because you don't want to mix them. You want to be able to reuse the glue. So we do 60. We decided we had 90 masks. We decided 60 was plenty because they're supposed to be special. So Molly then, thankfully, Molly came over. And yes, an emesis basin. I just like to call it the kidney-shaped thing you spit in. Mm-hmm. But that is, Marta is right. That is the correct. When I ordered them from Amazon, they were emesis basins. So, because I Googled kidney-shaped tray you spit in and nothing came up.
Really?
Yeah, that was weird. So Molly comes over on Sunday because she's going to help us decorate. I also learned, if you look, some of the masks have beads around the edges. I had to use 2 types of epoxy for that. I had to use this special glue that is a permanent adhesive, so the beads will never come off. But because that dries slow, I had to use hot glue as well because the hot glue dries fast. So on some of these, you'll see you'll see beads around the outside. See, like the purple beads or the gold beads or the green beads.
Yeah, I like those.
Yeah, that's 2 steps. That's A6000 adhesive followed by hot glue.
Oh, God.
Oh, dude, let me tell you.
What do you mean you're not artsy and craftsy? They look great.
Well, thank you. Some of them look great because Molly is really good at doing them. And I kept commenting and complimenting her. Now, mine were okay and Debbie's were okay. They all look very nice. You know, we all did a good job. But Molly has this knack. I don't know what it was. And I was like, come on. You're so good at this. And, stop telling me that. It's not. And I was like, no, they're really nice. She goes, well, you were obviously never in a sorority. I was like, what? I said, well, I'm glad we paid for your education. That's pretty spot on. You're right. Tracks. I was never in a sorority. I was never in a sorority, I tell you. One time I drove by, I parked on the lawn, but that was a whole other thing. The girls came out, they talked to me. Then I drove away. It was very, very, very nice. But I've never been she says, no, if you've ever been in a sorority, you're surrounded by girls who've been doing crafts their whole life, and then we're doing something for the sorority, and they're really good at it. I go, well, I hate to tell you, you're really good at it. So we worked yesterday from about 6 hours yesterday decorating all these masks. And now they're not even done because now we have to spray them with a sealant so that the glitter and everything doesn't come off. Then we have to bag them and put a little sticker on them saying like, Happy Mardi Gras from Chicago, crew of Morpheus Float 13.
What sealant did you use? Because my wife has a glitter bomb dress that she hairsprayed and was unable to successfully seal the glitter onto.
Let me tell you this. We're using the sealant that my man who could be murdering people too, but he makes great masks. He told us it's downstairs. Debbie picked it up today. It's a sealant. It's just for, for this kind of stuff. So supposedly it will keep our glitter and our beads and everything on there forever, and nothing will chip off. And that's the goal, because we want when somebody catches one of these, We want them to be very excited.
Okay.
So I could tell. I will have to take a picture of the sealant, and I'll take a picture of it and text it to you.
Yeah.
But it was recommended by this guy who I was admired. I admired his work, and I also mocked him endlessly while I was watching these videos, because you could tell he was very anal when it came to his stuff, and he'd be like, "Well, now look, this I got a little paint here, and that's okay. I'll just leave it. Well, no, I got it. All right, I'll just fix it real quick. And when I do this, and this was his real voice. I'm not exaggerating the voice. Well, when you do this, now I could take a couple steps, but I just want to do it here. Now hold on. Oh boy. I'm gonna stop filming for a minute, and I'm gonna take care of this.
Oh,
It was like, and he kept trying to say it's no. Now, if you can't do this, it's no big deal. And I'm like, yeah, this guy's having like a hissy fit if something goes wrong, So, but he did have he had some good tips. So now we've got our little paint jars with very, very fine tips so we can write. And we used some of his tips. But he obviously starts working the day after Mardi Gras on his next year's masks. And we're like 2 weeks out going, we got to get our masks done. So that was the big arts and crafts extravaganza. The house looks like we had a stripper day camp over here. There's glitter everywhere. You know how hard it is to get rid of a house full of glitter?
Yes.
The dogs are covered with glitter. I was covered with glitter. Molly, Debbie, everything's covered in glitter. There's glitter on the rug. There's glitter on there's glitter all over this house. It's like Tinkerbell had a very, very exciting evening.
Wow.
It's everywhere, the glitter. So much glitter.
I am not envious. I was going to ask you how you contained the glitter. That was going to be a specific question, but it sounds like you didn't.
We contained a lot of it. Okay. But no matter how, we kept most of it in the little tubs that we were putting it in. Then some shakes out on the table. But the table we worked on, I vacuumed off the table to lessen the glitter on the rug. But then I still had to vacuum. And even though I vacuumed everything, I'm walking by and I'm like, oh, there's a little bit of glitter in the rug there, And then I'm petting, and Walter came over yesterday to help. He's like rolling around on the rug. I'm like, oh, this dog is going to be, And then he's trying to lick up whatever glitter fell on the floor. So I'm imagining his poops today look like they came from, Candyland. Yeah. So the glitter was fun. The other thing, Molly and I, and we all burned ourselves numerous times with the hot glue gun. Because, you put the hot glue in there and then you're trying to press it down. And we tried using different implements. I was covered. I looked like a bad horror film as I'm peeling epoxy off my hands. Yes, I looked like the creature from the Black Lagoon. It was insanity.
Dude, yeah. No, I don't mess with glitter. That's not allowed. Even when my daughter is of age to do arts and crafts.
Oh, you gotta let her do glitter.
You know what? Sprinkles. You can get sprinkles that look like glitter. And then instead of just painting stuff that you put glitter on, you just make cupcakes and put sprinkles on them.
Okay.
Sprinkles are like edible glitter, essentially.
I like that you think you'll be able to control that. That's very good.
Well, I control what gets purchased and put in my home for the most part for a small amount of time.
Monique is telling me to make sure we have a lot of fresh air when we use the sealant. I watched the guy. He goes, well, when you're putting these things on, I use the Gorilla Glue aerosol. You're supposed to use it outside, but don't tell anybody. And he's got a little box. And I'm like, oh, dude, you're going to asphyxiate yourself. Oh, that's all right. Don't tell anybody. Yeah, we're supposed to spray this outside. Shh. Okay, now, then you move it over here with a bamboo skewer and you put it on there real nice. Then you got to cover it up. I'm like, oh, Lord. It's insane. But I'll tell you, every time I took a new one over to the table, I was like, hey, we're doing pretty good here. These look pretty good.
Yeah. I think they look great. I think they're very impressive. And I know that it takes a lot. Now, did you keep all your supplies in a craft box or a craft?
Well, listen, we kept all our supplies, but now we've added to it. So we are going to get a craft tub, to make sure all our craft stuff stays together.
Yeah.
And then if we can, we're going to add a craft room onto the house.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Just a shed. Get a she shed.
The front or the back?
probably right out the front with a big window, so it looks like we're professional crafters at a workshop in a studio. And then we'll get the city will come by and cite us for having a business without having a business license. And I'll say, we are not a business. We're just making sleep masks for Mardi Gras. And they'll say, what is that? I'll say, you are so dumb. Go away. But now there's a page, a crew page on Facebook, so everybody posts their masks. And everyone's quietly judging. Don't kid yourself. You know, everybody's looking.
Quietly?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because everybody's supportive in the comments.
Oh, quiet judging. Is that the newest term that's coming out of corporate America? Quiet judging? It's
no,
like
I just made it up. Do you want to take it on LinkedIn, see how it works?
Yeah. Well, we got quiet quitting, quiet promoting, quiet hiring, quiet bunch
quiet
of other...
hiring?
Yeah, quiet hiring is stupid. It's all of the terms are stupid.
Oh yeah, they're dumb. Well, I didn't mean it as a buzzword. I just meant people aren't judging out loud.
But it should be.
It should be. We'll put it in. We'll put it in corporate speak and see. Because there's some masks I look at, I go, wow, those are really good. Then there's other masks I go, ours are a lot better. So, you know, people are judging.
Yeah.
But everybody, and now they have a mask tracker. I don't know how this works, but supposedly, if people get our masks, I don't know if we're supposed to put the QR code on the bag or what, but we should be like, if I throw a mask and somebody catches it and they take it to Guam, I'm supposed to, hey man, look at that. One of my masks is in Guam.
Like
I don't
Apple
know why.
Tag you were talking about earlier for
that's going to be expensive.
Yeah. Weird. Well,
yeah. So it's a QR code that I don't know where it's supposed to work. I haven't figured that out yet. And I don't really care to. I don't know. I made the mask. I don't care where people take it.
Yeah.
You know, I just don't want to see them look at it and toss it. But people don't do it. The only thing people do if they don't, like if you're throwing plain beads, people will just let them sail over their heads. Nobody tries to reach up for a plain string of beads. You gotta have like a medallion on it or something.
Yeah.
Because if you're just throwing cheapy plain beads, people will just stand there. Beads will go flying.
Even the tourists, even the noobs.
The noobs will quickly catch on. Or people will catch them and look and just throw them on the ground.
Yeah.
Just throw it. And then, you know, the end of the night, there's just big piles of plain beads. But those get recycled.
How long do you keep your accoutrements that you pick up at Mardi Gras?
We still have a bunch from years gone by, but we did weed out a lot. We made a lot of them into ornaments for the Mardi Gras tree. We took the big medallions off and made those ornaments. Then we went through and any duplicates or any stuff that wasn't like, then we donated it or tossed it. If it was because every crew has like, besides their signature throw, has the yearly, the special ornament or special bead with their medallion. So we would keep those if we had some of those. But we have a ton. We have a ton of stuff down in the basement. You know, big bead bags full of stuff. Yeah.
I ended up with a giant bag of Mardi Gras beads like 10 years ago, 12 years ago, probably.
Yeah.
I don't remember where I got, because I was doing theater stuff at the time. So it either came from some show that didn't need it, or you had a giant bag of regular beads, but that wouldn't make sense.
No, I wouldn't have given. No, I don't. I wouldn't have given.
No, but we had.
I did have beads. No, but those weren't even regular beads when I had parties at the house. Those had crawdads or gators or something on them.
No, this was like 2010. Well, anyway, I had kind of an impromptu Mardi Gras party, but we had a few beads left over, and I was always just like, oh, what do I do with this? But you've got the tree, so that's kind of nice.
Yeah, so it's fun. And last year, your son got to watch the parade on TV with me. That was fun because we weren't down there. So I'll bring him some beads when I see him.
Yeah,
something. Yeah.
He's overdue to come visit you guys. Honestly.
I know he's got to come. Well, we're overdue to come visit the baby. Yeah, because I want him. Last year he was very excited when we taught him to say, "Throw me something, Mister." He was very happy about that. So we'll have to do that again. Do you have anything else? I have a plug. Can I do one plug?
You should plug, and then we should. Yeah.
This Friday, February 3rd, I am part of a fundraising comedy night featuring WGN-TV's Mike Toomey, who, if you have never seen Mike Toomey, is hilarious. I've worked with Mike for years and years and years, so he is great. There are then six other comics on the bill. I am one of them, so I don't know how this is going to work, but there's 2 shows, 6:30 and 9 p.m. The MC for the evening is a man we know, Dave Plyer, is emceeing the big night. It is a fundraiser for the Yard Foundation. It is happening at Moretti's Italian restaurant in Edison Park. If you go to theyardfoundation.org, you can get some tickets. So that's Friday night. A lot of great comics. And I heard last week when I was doing my show on TMJ last Friday, Dave Plyer was doing his show on another station that I don't remember the call letters. And so then somebody texted me who listens to both our shows and said, hey, Dave Plyer's talking about you. Turns out the Yard Foundation people were on promoting this show. So that was nice. Put my events in the comment section too. All right, I'll drop a link in there. That's no big deal. I can do that. Yeah, so that should be fun. That's on Friday, and it is in the comments section. You can go there and get some tickets. And I am on TMJ now any night that there's no sports. So this week I was on tonight. I'll be on Wednesday. Then next week, every day I will be on. So listen, starting at 6, some nights till 8, 8:30, some nights till 9. Depends on the sports schedule. So there's my plugs. I got some plugs working out there. Yeah, sure. All right. Anything else?
No.
I'm gonna go iron a shirt then.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go and there's nothing.
Do something.
There's nothing.
Say something. Say you're gonna do something.
Keep
you're
a
gonna
kid
do nothing.
alive.
Keep 2 kids alive.
My life is a little directionless right now, Brian. I'm not sure if you've picked up on that.
I didn't. Why? What's going on?
My co-host on my video game podcast has been busy, so like I can't even record with him. So that's on pause. So yeah, there's not.
Now wait, let me ask as a parting shot. How long do you put into preparing that show?
Oh God, less. Just
less
none.
than this one.
Just none. Yeah.
All right, good.
Yeah.
Then I don't feel bad.
Come on.
All right. Well, smash the like button. Is that what they say now? Is that
like,
the lingo?
Subscribe, Venmo.
Oh, Venmo. Yeah, you can Venmo us. You can Venmo Cody.
Subscribe. Did we say that one already?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just to tell one friend about the show. Tell one friend. Like
just tell one person.
We're a funny show. If you got a friend that's like, oh, I like podcasts, there's something to listen to. I'm going on a road trip. I need something for the flight. Whatever. Just be like, I know this show. I think you might kind of like it. You'll at least like Brian. Cody's a little office rocker right now. You're like more than usual. But I should have had a beer. I like that. Like you
didn't have a beer tonight.
My stomach felt kind of weird going in, and I was like, I don't know if I should have a beer. So I just didn't, because all I have are the thick ones. But man, next week I'll have a beer, and I'll deteriorate even more during the course of the show. We'll just go with that.
That'll be fun. Yeah. We always look forward to that. All right. Well, thanks for being here, and we'll talk to you again next week.
Yeah, it's gonna be tight. Bye.